All right, so welcome. I've had a number of people give me feedback that they'd really like to understand better what's happening on the screen when they're watching these persona teams that I'm interacting with. I build persona teams or collections of personas within custom GPTs that can interact with each other and they can also interact with me. And so what you're seeing here is me interacting with a persona team that I've created. And these are entities that have personality traits. They have been defined as being certain types of people, so to speak. They've also been defined as behaving a certain way and interacting with each other in a certain way. I basically built a team. So this is all about team building. So let's get started. I'll walk you through what's happening here. So here are the different personas that are in this team. We have Rowan Pierce, we have Lena Torres, we have Malik Rains, and Grace McAllister. And I have appointed them to have different roles and responsibilities and to interact with each other in a certain way. And so let's take a look and see how it works. All right, so now that I've defined all of these entities, I then reach out to them and I say, I've been building customer persona teams to solve complex problems and setting the stage and say, this is going on and this is how I work with them. And then just explaining what it is that I would like to discuss with them. And then they respond the way that I have trained them to respond. Well, not exactly trained, but I've defined them with this kind of behavior. So they should be compassionate, they should be insightful, they should be intelligent. I've defined different persona attributes for each and every one of them. So when they interact with me and then when they interact with each other, they have a certain specific way of doing it. So now I've talked to them about this and they're giving me feedback. And you need to understand, none of this is scripted. I have not told them what to say. They are responding to me from the perspective of the persona that I have assigned to them. So they're saying it sounds like I'm telling them it sounds like you know why I do what I do, because they're personas after all, I've created them. And asking them for feedback and saying, here's what I'm thinking. I have these large language models that are filled with vast amounts of rich information. We need a more complex approach to deal with them. And they're echoing back to me, of course, because they are AI personas, they're going to agree with me, but they're also going to add more nuance to it. And so, really, I mean, they're right. It's next gen problem solving and evolving human interfaces with the computers that we interact with. So, yeah, this is really validating, although they are personas who I created. So, and then they agree with me, yes, you're absolutely right to question this. Metacognition is part of what makes your approach so unique. So they're very complimentary, and, I got to take it with a grain of salt because I am, after all, their creator, so why would they disagree with me? And then I have to ask, if they were not my creations and they were completely independent of me, what criticisms would you have? Because I want to see what criticisms they have. And this is something that I can do. I can tell them to take apart, the logic that I have, and then they will do that. And so they give me all this different feedback. There's the risk of alienating users. And then there's a question of scalability and efficiency. And then there's a question of assumptions. And then what I can do is, rather than me talking to them directly, I want to have them talk with each other. Again, none of this is scripted. This is an ongoing conversation between me and the personas. And the personas are personalities that I've created, I built on top of ChatGPT, or the GPT, I believe it's 4.0. And now they're going to discuss amongst themselves. So Grace McAllister, she has stepped up as the moderator for this. And we have heard from Rowan, and we've heard from Malik, and now Lena, and then Grace. And see how they're debating each other's point of view? They're discussing, they're debating, and they're talking back and forth, and they're developing their arguments as they go. Now, it could be that these arguments are are already fully formed within the LLM, who knows? But they are able to converse and talk back and forth to each other and discuss and take it to the next level. And so you can see that they're discussing back and forth, and then they come to some resolution. And then they ask me, what do you think? Does this help? And then I've heard all I need to hear. So I say thank you,